What is going on, everyone? Welcome to our Week 12 Sunday NFL live stream. Going to go through our top 5 games on the slate. No Mackey this week. We do have Haas and Ace joining me as well. We're going to jump right into our first game. The 9-1 Detroit Lions are heading to the 5-6 Indianapolis Colts. Colts are a 7.5-point home underdog. Over under at 50. Lions money line is minus 400. Colts plus 310. I'll start us out here. I think I took the Lions last week in that spot minus 13.5 against the Jaguars. I know this is a road game compared to last week, but Anthony Richardson looked really good last week for the Colts. I look for him to kind of come back down to earth a little bit. I still think he'll get his on the ground, but the throwing game, this Lions defense has been great all year, especially there. And then you look at the offensive side of the ball. I think they're not going to struggle too much to put up points here. I do have the Lions minus 7.5 on my card, so you can look forward to that. I'm on Detroit today. Ace, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, definitely an important game here with a lot of points. This Colts team has come back to life with Anthony Richardson being put back to the helm. Detroit Lions have looked like world beaters to date. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this one. I expect both running backs to get in, Sonic and Knuckles for the Detroit Lions. That's Montgomery and Gibbs. I think both of them being played in a little two-team parlay, same game parlay is not a bad thing to look at. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown continues a strong season that he's having. Jameson Williams can always be someone to look at for a long play, a long touchdown as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, I do think Anthony Richardson keeps this game more competitive than people think. I think it's a pretty big spread for a team that has the potential to be in the playoffs this year in the AFC. They're going to have to keep pace with the rest of the conference, as we've got the Broncos and the Chargers playing pretty strong. You know, you have two teams, maybe even three from the AFC North in contention as well. So I think that the Colts are going to have a big one here at home. Going to be tough to slow down the Lions, so Richardson's going to have a monster game to keep up with them. In that case, I'd play Richardson too. I like the over here. I think it might be closer than you think. 7.5's a lot. I do think the Lions get it done on the money line, but it's going to be tough to cover that 7.5. Going to be a late one if so. Can't count out these Colts with the way they've been playing with Richardson back at the helm after what he did last week. But I'll pass it to Haas to see what he's thinking about Colts and Lions this week.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point. Obviously, I really like Anthony Richardson too. He's my type of quarterback. Obviously, a lot more athletic than old Joe Flacco, but that guy's still elite. You know how he slings the rock. But yeah, I certainly agree with your take, Alex. I really like to see the running backs kind of stay hot with the Lions. My guaranteed touchdowns from that game would probably be. I like Gibbs better than Montgomery in this one for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, obviously, they both of them have the opportunity to get in, but if you're looking for a touchdown parlay in this game, or if you're just looking for an anytime touchdown, I like Jahmyr Gibbs, and you saw Amon-Ra St. Brown on my card. If you did follow the Instagram at thebooks.pod, and like I said, I really think this is going to be a really good game between these two teams, but I think that 7.5 points, like you said, that's definitely a lot. But I really think this is going to be a really fun game with a lot of different points coming up on the board. But give me the Lions in this one for sure. But like I said, Gibbs, Amon-Ra, touchdowns.
Jared Goff's got to keep the ball under control in this one. We've seen him kind of get loose with the last few. I know he bounced back big time from that 5 or 6 interception game. They even ended up winning and beating the Texans in. But if he can control the ball, I think it's a pretty safe bet that for them today to take the win. But if not, I wouldn't count out Anthony Richardson. I think after getting benched, he doesn't want to get sent back down to QB2. So he's going to look to continue a strong play. But how do you bet against the Lions right now? I don't think you can. So always a safe play to take them. If you're still in a survivor league somehow, I think it's not a bad play.
You think he'll be doing a little bit too much though? Could you see him actually trying to take the ball into his own hands?
That's what I think is going to happen. He played too good last week. He hasn't had back-to-back good games in the NFL yet. I look for him to kind of come back down to earth here. I think the Lions win this one by 9-10. It could even get ugly with the way the Lions have been playing.
Is really that defense even any good for the Lions? So it's the one thing.
Yeah, dude. Kirby Joseph's been elite.
They get interceptions, but are they a good defense? I want to see them shut down a good team. Even like those Texans a couple weeks ago.
The second half, they shut them down. They didn't score in the second half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That secondary looks good, but can they full game throughout? We saw it last year in the NFC Championship against the Niners. They looked like they had them shut out, and then they ended up selling it. I'm talking more so when we get to the playoffs, they started playing some of those big dogs. Obviously not this week. I don't know if Anthony Richardson will be able to do it. But I think he has a little bit more success than he has. It's a good point you bring up about him not being able to string together multiple games in a row with success. So can't really count on that. But I think you can fire up a lot of guys on both sides in fantasy this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
honestly,
agree.
a really, really weak secondary. And like I said, I really like Amon-Ra. And like it was a good point too with Jameson Williams. I think he probably gets a long one, but safe play would be Gibbs and Amon-Ra, in my opinion.
Interesting
Yeah.
pick here is Jesse has that Anthony Richardson anytime touchdown on the card this week. I think that might not be a bad one to throw in. It's got pretty good value as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Absolutely. We'll jump into our second game in the divisional matchup up in the NFC North. The Minnesota Vikings are heading to Soldier Field to take on the Bears. Bears are a 3.5-point home dog. Over under at 39. Bears money line plus 155. Vikings minus 185. I'll start us off here, and then I'll hand it over to you, Haas, on this one. I'm on the Bears here. Bears 4-2 at home, 0-4 on the road. Divisional matchup. They're technically not out of things yet. Obviously, firing their offensive coordinator, things look better last week. You lose by the field goal or a blocked field goal to the Packers. I look for them to bounce back. This is a divisional game. They need to get it home. Vikings. I know they're kind of back. I'm very weary of this Vikings team and this Vikings offense. I think this Bears team could kind of stymie them at home in a low-scoring game. I like the Bears plus the 3.5, and I like the under, but the Bears plus 3.5 is on my card. The under is not. So more confident in the Bears to come in and cover a game for me today. Haas, what are you thinking? NFC North, Vikings, Packers.
Wait, Haas,
Yeah,
Haas, before you get going on this game, shout out to everybody jumping in the chat. I see it kind of popping off. Good morning, Natalie, Steve, Brian, Zin guys, Austin, Michael, thanks for tuning in. Pat, we'll get your questions answered as we get through our game. We're going to get through some games. We'll answer your questions in between, so definitely load up our chat with all of your fantasy and betting questions. We'll get to them after we get through this one.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Haas.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, good point, Alex. But I definitely want to say I really like the if you like the under in this game, like Huff said, if you really like the under in this game, I'd probably maybe lean towards the Bears as well. But I don't know. I really don't see that happening. I think the Vikings are a pretty decent team. Like we said, the NFC is just a weak conference. So if the Vikings really want to start pulling away here, this is not a must win for their record, but like this is a team that you should really be blowing out. Obviously, if you want to put yourself at the top of the NFC, you can't have a good game against the Bears. You can't let them stay in the game, and it really shouldn't be low scoring either. You really should be blowing them out and Justin Jefferson hitting the Grady, Jordan Addison getting the end zone. I think he's questionable. He's got the Q tag on him, but if Darnold's a quarterback that everybody says he is, I think this should be a good game for the Vikings, and everybody can start wearing their Vikings hat with the horns on the side.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a big game here. It's a divisional one, so that's how we got to think it could be closer than it should be. The Chicago Bears, meanwhile, like Brian's saying, they have a tough task today. They're going up against Kevin O'Connell, one of the best offensive minds in football. He's been trying to manage the Sam Darnold, who's come back down to earth from his overplaying zealous that he had earlier in the season. Yes, they're going to target Justin Jefferson heavily. I think he finds the end zone this week. He has it in a couple weeks, so he's in due for it. If you saw the reports this week, they want to get Hawkinson more involved. He's only been in on 50% of the offensive snaps since he's been back from injury. They want to get him more involved this week, especially against a weaker Bears defense. Meanwhile, the Bears haven't been able to find the end zone, especially after they had those big blowups where DeAndre Swift looked like a very good RB1. They've been struggling to put points up, especially ever since that Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels kind of put a dagger into their playoff hopes. This team is kind of reeling right now. They're going to have to find a way to get in. They fired their offensive coordinator because it was so slow, and their new one has really been getting the ball to the new guy. They've been getting it to their first-round rookie wide receiver, Romo Dunn's trying to build up that chemistry between him and Williams. I think that I think that Sam Darnold and the Vikings do continue a strong season here. Yes, they haven't looked great of late, but they're still one of the better teams in the NFL, especially in the NFC. They're going to start scoring points again, and I think that the Bears defense is going to get exposed by this Vikings team. I know that they've had some better numbers, but that lower record of theirs isn't too strong. I like Justin Jefferson getting the end zone. I think Hawkinson has a strong day once again as well. Let's go with the Vikings here this week. I'm going to take the -3. I'm going to buy that half a point. You'll see that on my card. I think a lot more people will start putting respect on their name. We're going to get the skull going. Any fans in the chat of the Vikings, let us know the skull there. We got Chance Galucci. He's a big Vikings guy tuning in on our YouTube channel over there. He's got Addison to score, maybe a defensive touchdown. He thinks Justin Jefferson's putting up 30. We got Crooney in the chat with the skull, so we got some Vikings fans here.
Before you jump off this game, as a 3.5-point favorite or greater, the Vikings have 2 wins against the spread this season, 2-1 out of 10 Vikings games so far. 3 have gone over the total, so I guess leaning total, going to over. Against the spread, though, Bears are 6-4 this season straight up. Chicago's covered every time. We're 2-0 as a 3.5 point or greater underdog this season.
Interesting. Huff. Here's a take by one of our followers here, Brian, saying a great teaser edition with the Vikings here. Their defense won't get crushed by Caleb Williams and co. Even when they're winning, the Bears are winning closer games. They have Brian Flores, the former Patriot, former head coach for the Dolphins. He's really breathed some life into that defense that didn't have high expectations coming in. Do you see there's a good opportunity for a teaser here this week? Get them at like around 4 plus 4.5.
I'm not big on teasing favorites through 0. If everyone says you lose a lot of value on that, I mean, obviously, I look at it the other way, like not only in this game, just because I do like the Bears, but in a teaser spot, like I don't see in a tight game where the total's 39. I don't see the Bears losing by 11 or 12. So I think you're better off just raising the dog and hoping it's a 10-point game either way.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I do think I'm going to have the Vikings here on my card this week. Either that or the Jefferson touchdown. Those are my favorite plays. Longtime follower and listener, Beak Patel, shout out to you tuning in. New Jersey native. He's got the Bears here this week. But that's going to be a great divisional game in the NFC North. Bears lose this one. They can kiss their season goodbye, even though it's kind of a long shot for them to even still be in it. Vikings, meanwhile, can really solidify their playoff spot with a win here this week. Let's get back to our chat a little bit here, Huff. We've got a lot popping off. First one we'll go with you is Tyrone Tracy or Jonathan Taylor. Tyrone Tracy, pretty interesting pick here this week. He's been pretty good at that running back position. Doesn't have too many snaps there in his career as a true running back. Only 2 years at the position, but
I'd go Taylor. They need to run the ball if they want to try to shorten that game. The Lions can put up points fast. The Colts can't. Colts are going to try to run the ball a lot with Richardson. With Taylor, Taylor's going to get in the end zone. I just don't. I know Tracy's been very good. They're going up against a pretty good Bucs team that's underrated because of their record.
Good
They're
run
getting Mike Evans
too.
back. Yeah, I'd go with Jonathan Taylor in that situation. There's another one with Jonathan Taylor a little further down here. Let me try to locate that. Ramondre, Kyron, or Jonathan Taylor. Pick 2.
It's tough to sit Kyron Williams, especially against in a primetime matchup tonight. I think he's just the best running back of that trio.
And Kyron and Jonathan Taylor both playing at home. Ramondre has a tough game on the road in Miami.
Yeah, I think Ramondre does find the end zone this week. If you can find him to get into your end zone, I think Jonathan Taylor would be my sit. But the thing is, him and Kyron Williams are such superstars. And like we said before, that Lions-Colts game should show a lot of points there. Kyron going against the Eagles, that's a tough matchup, I know, but he's just so good. You can't really sit him. Finds the end zone so often too. But Ramondre, meanwhile, Drake May's breathed life into that offense. I think he is the easiest matchup on paper. Can't go wrong with any of them. But let's go Kyron and Ramondre, in my opinion. Huffston and Jonathan Taylor. Traz, you got a good trio there to choose from. A couple other ones here. Hoss, this one we can pass over to you. No bias. Ravens or Chargers?
I go with the Ravens. Yeah. Honestly,
think,
and you know, it's funny to say it, but like I was talking to Huff a little bit about this earlier. I understand the Chargers have been playing really good football, and they're a good football team. Not anyone to overlook, but I really think the Ravens team is really is built to beat a team just like the Chargers. Like they have a lot of great pieces on defense, but not necessarily great against the run. I really think Derrick Henry has a big day, and I think Lamar has a great day overall.
Yeah, that's the horrible as well. And with Lad McConkey kind of banged up, he's been their best option. If he's a no-go, then it's a little bit tougher. We had a couple more I'll rattle through here. Benson, Akers, or Abdullah? That's a tough question there. I think I'm going to go with Abdullah, actually. That's the crazy one to say. Akers has been getting more usage for the Vikings. Benson's actually getting a lot more involved, too. I'm going to keep Benson on my bench for one more week. Go add him if he's available in any of your leagues. But Trey Benson has been getting more usage week by week. They're coming off their bye. The rookie running back out of Florida State might get a lot more usage in that offense for the Arizona Cardinals. That's very high-powered, too. I know James Conner's there, but Benson keeps upticking. He's the running back of the future there. He is a good player, too. So I would fire up Abdullah, though. It's the safest play. PPR league, it's a good spot, too. Akers, keep him on your bench as the handcuff to Jones, even though he's seeing work as well, seeing 10 touches a week.
Is a super flex, like you can put a quarterback there?
Correct.
There's one in here, Bucky Irving or Brandon Allen at the Superflex.
I
feel like you can find a better quarterback to put in there.
In the Superflex league, though, there's not many quarterbacks on the
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, everyone probably has 2 good quarterbacks. I didn't think
of it. Yeah, at least. And Bucky Irving, he can probably find the end zone this week going up against the New York Giants. I know that Rachaad White always finds the end zone, but you know Bucky will get his touches. He's more of a definitive floor. If you have a safer team around him, check. Go with Bucky Irving. Brandon Allen is probably going to be handing the ball to Christian McCaffrey a lot. We expect some snow up in that game as well, so that might be pretty tough. JJ to get a TD, Zay, yeah, I think so. I like that. I might be putting on my card. We're going to go Mike Evans over D-Hop in his return. Huff has a Mike Evans touchdown at the plus money in his card. D-Hop, I'm going to sit him this week. I actually sat him in a few of my leagues. I still think he's going to have a great rest of the season, but against the Panthers, there's a potential for a blowout and not much throwing to be done by Patrick Mahomes, so not much of a target share for DeAndre Hopkins needed. I'm going to keep him in the back burner this week. Jefferson, Kareem, and Monty is free. That's a good bet right there. Beak. Come back to these Bears.
Three more, then let's get into our next 4 o'clock game. We'll
Sounds
jump back
good.
in the chat.
A little same game parlay Huff for you. Just give me a yes or no. Bears money line, DJ Moore over 70 and a touchdown. Caleb Williams 225 and 2 touchdowns. Probably some great odds there.
That's got to be plus 2,000 something.
Yeah. Is that have any lies though?
I bet all those legs are plus money. Caleb over 1.5 is probably plus money.
225 is probably even. DJ Moore 70 plus probably even, but the touchdown's probably plus and the Bears are plus.
Let's see. I'm looking at it right here. Where is it at? Fucking players. There we go. Quarterbacks, passing. Caleb's truly set at 204, so they raised it to 225. I can't get 225 odds, but 250 is plus 260, and 200 is minus 140. So plus 140 for that. Passing touchdowns, he set it a half, but it's minus 250.
This is probably plus 120.
Yeah, so each leg's plus money. That's up in the thousands.
If you're taking them individually, there's a lot of them, but that's a tough order. I do think Caleb Williams does have some success against the Vikings game. I actually think that game goes over. It's such a low total. But yeah, a couple more here before we pass back to our games. Debo, JMO, and X Xavier Worthy. You got to pick two of them. I'm going Debo Samuel. He's going to get the squeaky wheel treatment this week. Kind of complain about not being involved in the offense. Jameson Williams, big play waiting to happen, but I'm going to go Xavier Worthy, a lot bigger target share. I know it's tough to have Jameson on your bench when he pops off for a big one, but that's what we'll see. A lot of people saying a hot take with the Colts upsetting the Lions. You know who's actually on that is me, but I'm not going to card it or place any wager on it. But I do think the Colts have potential to upset the Lions, and the Lions come back down to earth before they go on another run before the playoffs. Last one here, Disley or Otten. We're going to go Otten. All right, let's get back to our next game, Huff. Keep those questions coming. We'll get them answered as we can. Adam Ray Fitness, what's up, buddy? Good morning. How's it going?
And next game we're going to get into was a better game until some injury news broke. 49ers at Green Bay. Green Bay now a 5.5-point home favorite. Over under 44.5. Packers minus 250. 49ers plus 200 on the money line. Obviously, it was announced that Brock Purdy's not playing here. It is going to be Brandon Allen under center. Ace, me and Haas were talking before this. Would you go Brandon Allen or Josh Dobbs?
Oof.
I feel like you got to go Dobbs off the recency bias.
Why would you not, too?
Because Brandon Allen might be a better scheme fit, though. Josh Dobbs is pretty loose with the football. I know first half of last year, he was very good. Second half, he came back down to earth, and he was the backup that we expected him to be. Looser with the football. Brandon Allen can keep it into the game plan here. He actually looked pretty decent in his spot starts. He can move, too. He's a bit more mobile, a bit younger than Josh Dobbs. But they're just going to look to feed Christian McCaffrey here. Keep it simple. A lot of jet sweeps to Debo Samuel, and you're going to look to get the ball to George Kittle. I love the value on the Niners today. They always little brother the Green Bay Packers, and I think they do it once again. That defense is going to carry them to a victory, and the scheming of Kyle Shanahan is going to get it done. When people see how do they do this, it's because they have one of the best coaches in the NFL and a lot of good weapons to pick up the slack for when Purdy's not there.
I like the 49ers. That was like my underdog of the week before Purdy was ruled out. Now I probably don't even have a play on this game. I guess maybe the over 44.5. I don't know if I'm missing out on some weather up there in Green Bay. We're out now in the time of year where we clearly have to start worrying about that after that Thursday night football we just had. There could be snow coming in Green Bay, rain. I have no clue. I don't know why that's so low. I guess because Purdy's out too, but I think both of these teams can still put up points. Like you said, I think they're going to do a lot of designed runs with Debo Samuel. Obviously, McCaffrey, another week with him healthy. 49ers they're going to be able to put up at least 17. I think the Packers can do the rest. Give me the over 44.5. I'm not carding it, but for sake of conversation.
I just think the defenses are too strong. I think if the Packers want to win this game, hear me out, they would want to start Malik Willis in the snow and keep the ball on the ground. I think it's going to be a tough day through the air.
Crazy.
Yeah, Malik Willis doesn't lose football games. Tell me I'm wrong as a Green Bay Packer in his tenure. But
you had to add that little contingency in there because he lost a lot of
current franchise.
He lost a lot of football games.
Yeah, we'll blame it on the weak Tennessee Titans. That team's brutal.
You know what's crazy is I wanted the Steelers to draft him over Kenny Pickett, but I guess it doesn't matter because neither of them are with the team they could drafted by.
Maybe you still would have had Malik because he's just a decent version of Justin Fields. Maybe safer with the football too. But
yeah, probably a little better at throwing.
Yeah, back to this.
Nowhere near as good at running.
back to this game. Talking about the Niners here, Christian McCaffrey is automatically due to score a touchdown. Anybody in the chat have Christian McCaffrey in their leagues and just waiting for him to find pay dirt? I think it's this week. He's going to see touches galore. And you know what else I like too? With Brandon Allen at the helm, they're not going to do too much. Maybe they get Mason involved. Maybe they get Garendo involved. And if they have all three running backs fired up, I think they have a good chance here. I like that defense. Plus 205 on the money line. Shop it around. Might be able to find better. I like the Niners here this week. Hoss, let us know what you think about Packers-Niners.
Let me step in here real quick. If Mason or Garendo, however the hell you say his name, steal one off McCaffrey this week, I'm gonna be so fucking mad.
Oh yeah.
I'm in a must-win scenario to get the 6th seed in my fantasy league, and I've had McCaffrey and Nakua hurt all year. I finally have them back, and McCaffrey just hasn't been himself. I need a big week from him.
Yeah, and you probably will get one. I think he's going to see the touches throughout the max, and he might get some of those PPR little dump-offs too. Look for McCaffrey to be dashing through the snow and find a touchdown here this week. Hoss, give us a quick take on this one. Let's get back to the chat. It's been popping off. Got a lot of people asking some questions about fantasy.
Yeah, you're talking about dashing through the snow. Look at that Steelers Browns game the other day in the snow. I really think this is where those big, strong, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling running backs go crazy. Give me Josh Jacobs in the snow. I mean, they brought him in for a reason. I think this is where you earn your cheese head.
That's a good pick.
It's going to be a good game where, like you said, those running backs are going to be having to be hot and heavy. I really think he's going to have a great game. I mean, obviously, I really like Jordan Love, so and we talked about it on the cast off. I really think the Packers, this is going to be the really big show me game. They had a chance to really make it the big time show me game if Purdy was to play, but nonetheless, I mean, this is still going to be a good game, like you said. Green Bay, Wisconsin, Packers in the snow. Josh Jacobs, let's see how you do there. Give me 8.
Ace, I have an interesting take for you. Could both tight ends in this game get in?
They could, but it's a weather related game. I'm not.
Yeah. I don't like Tucker
Kraft. The two that
I like Kraft. Kraft's my guy.
He had a quiet week last week, but Kraft is going to be covered by Fred Warner. Let's remember that too. The best coverage linebacker in the NFL, the best overall linebacker in the NFL. Sorry to Roquan Smith-Hoss, but Fred Warner's been doing it way longer, and he is much more versatile. He's going to be a tough matchup for Kraft today, and I think the balls get spread a lot on that Packers offense with everybody healthy. Christian Watson getting involved. That being said, I don't think there's a lot of throwing today. I like McCaffrey and I like Josh Jacobs to both find the end zone today. Those are my two favorite picks in this game, but I am going with the Niners money line. Don't be surprised to see that on my card. Saw someone else in the chat. Shout out T for jumping in. I wonder if it's T Higgins, but Niners money line, easy money. I like that too. A lot of stuff jumping off in the chat here. Zach, thanks for tuning in. Start Keenan Allen or Keenan half PPR. Let's go Keenan Allen one more week and see if he can get anything done with Caleb Williams in a higher scoring game. Mike Evans over 3.5 catches. Love that. Goddard, Javonte, or Leggett at flex. Let's go with Javonte Williams. He's finding the end zone lately. He's got a good matchup here. Let's keep it going here. Weather won't be bad. Chilly, not cold. All right, Brian, thanks. Appreciate that. I still think the ball's going to be
the weather report. I love it.
No, that's massive. I'll need to know that if there's no snow, that keeps the ball in the air. If it's chilly, that means balls might just be clanging off of people's hands. But if they're good receivers, they'll hold on. I still think it's heavily on the ground.
That's what we need. We need a weather girl like Barstool Sports Advisors, because I don't look at for any of these games until I'm like, all right, it's December. That's a true factor.
Yeah,
Alex, you get to Adam Ray Fitness. I answered this question too, but he's been spamming it in the chat. Yep. Adam Ray, our dog, he's saying he's in a must-win position. I'm in spot 5 with like 10 points between us, and he's facing Can. I don't know what that means, but he said the guy can take him out of the top 6. He asked Addison.
He's facing the Can. Like if he loses, I think that means he's out.
Yeah, I'm going with Jordan Addison there. I think Jordan Addison, if he's healthy, just make sure you monitor that. See if he's a full go. If he is, we're gonna fire him up, and he finds the end zone pretty interesting. Bigger boom potential than Darius Slayton as well.
Malik Neighbors is questionable though.
With Tommy DeVito at the helm, I'm not starting any Giants wide receiver. I'm considering benching Malik Neighbors. Definitely not starting Darius Slayton this week. What are you saying, Huff?
We have someone. Chris is volunteering to be our weatherman. He said all he needs is a green screen.
He's bringing the boom.
Bringing the boom.
Yeah, there he is. Big Justice Chris. There he is out of the WWE. If anybody saw that the other night, Jesse definitely did. That was a great. The Rizzler was up there.
That was AEW. That was AEW. Jesse doesn't associate with them.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. But I mean, anytime you can get the Costco guys on your stream, not a big deal. Anybody take Big Justice for the KO? Anybody have that on their card? I mean, that was electric. Yeah, the Rizzler probably would start this week. Would he go with Chuba Hubbard over Rashad White? I know it's tough going against Chris Jones in the Kansas City defense, but you got to think Chuba Hubbard finds the end zone. Hoss, why are you going Rashad White over Chuba Hubbard?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm going Chuba Hubbard. I'm starting Chuba Hubbard. I was huge on him all year. You know, my guy Chuba Hubbard. Is Jonathan Brooks playing this week?
He is making his debut, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He better not.
But they just
I could
paid
see.
Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, I know,
Ace,
but I could see them hawking one though too. I mean, this is gonna be his first week. They might give him a goal line carrier too.
Chris,
I
yeah,
don't
I
Ace,
care
love
though.
that.
Still give me Chuba Hubbard.
Electric. What up, Puff?
sit one of these four. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Nico Collins. I think JSN's getting the bench this
Tyreek
week.
Hill's going to be on Christian Gonzalez Island, and he's clamped him before. Hear me out.
Yes.
He's going to be on the Christian Gonzalez Island. JSN is going against the Cardinals. That Seahawks-Cardinals game screams over to me in a divisional matchup. That's a must-win for both teams to take that division. Meanwhile, you're not sitting Mike Evans. You're not sitting Nico Collins. That's a massive game this week between the Seahawks and Cardinals with points.
You're sitting Tyreek Hill?
I am sitting Tyreek Hill against Christian Gonzalez.
I love that. That's such a bold take, but I agree with you. You know how much I love Christian Gonzalez too. That's just.
But
such a
Jason's
great
also
matchup. I
been
don't think
heavily
there's-
involved. You already have Mike Evans. You have Nico Collins. No brainer start coming off of injuries. They got to replicate the numbers that were lost in their injury time. JSN has been much more involved in a better offense than the Dolphins' defense has been. Offense has been slow. Meanwhile, the Patriots and Dolphins last time they played was 13-10. I know Tua wasn't there, but yeah, we're going JSN. McCaffrey over 78.5 rush yards. Love that. Shout out to Umberto tuning in earlier. He's got the lines on a big one.
Javante or Tank Dell?
Ooh, I'm going to go Javante Williams again.
I would too.
I've been
He's
high
been
on
a
Javonte
beast.
Williams. Everybody's adding this guy Estime. I don't even know who that is. I do. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying he's irrelevant to the fantasy equation, irrelevant to the game plan. Let's go Javante Williams to find the end zone yet again this week. Good touchdown play this week. DeVito.
Hunt.
Someone likes DeVito. No.
Hunt,
What?
Bijan, A-Chain, sit one.
Hunt, Bijan, A-Chain. Hunt, Bijan, A-Chain. Do we have to sit one?
Who's in your whoever that is? Put something in copy and paste that back in there and say who you have at your flex currently, because you might have a wide receiver.
I am in a no flex
true.
league where it's a 2 running back slot and it's brutal. And it's like, who do I sit? I don't know. A-Chain, I'm going to sit again because it's a lower scoring Patriots game, but I don't want to because the Patriots.
Must be nice to be in those 6-man leagues though, Alex.
Yeah, I know, right? Those are 3 great. No, he definitely drafted Bijan. They drafted A-Chain and they picked up Hunt. Smart waiver wire ad.
Yeah.
Hunt is going to have a strong last week as the RB1 for the Kansas City Chiefs. We have Pacheco coming back last week. He's out this week. I think Kareem Hunt finds the end zone this week and continues to be strong. Couple more here before we get back to our games here. Otten or Disley, we're going in there. Seabass, a lot of people asking that question. Lions or Dolphins defense? Let's go with the Lions defense. Who do I start at the flex? Rashad White or Mike Evans? We're going with Mike Evans. Tommy DeVito over 0.5 interceptions. Love that. I think he has a weak game in his first game at start, and people are going to question why they have him in over lock and why they ended up releasing Jones and not waiting until the end of the year. But then again, they might be playing for the loss and the better draft pick. Chain is reliable. Yes, he is. It's a weak Patriots run defense, but the other two are great options as well in high-scoring matchups for their team. Hunt, Brian Robinson Jr., A-Chain, sit one. We're going to sit B-Rob because Eckler's been eating into that share a little bit and finds the end zone. Should I bench Kyron for Brian Robinson versus Dallas? I would not because, like I said, Austin Eckler is the one to watch out for. Mike Evans on the snap count, but he still probably will find the end zone. They're going to target him there, especially as the Bucs need to keep winning, keep pacing that NFC South, and look to push for the playoffs. And then we're going to start McLaurin and Evans over DK. Brennan, let's get to our next game here, Huff. We got a few more on
Before we get to this next game, do you think it's crazy to say the Bucs could still win that division?
No, it's not at all. I think they have a good chance too. I think the Atlanta Falcons are overrated. They've been playing back down the life. Kirk Cousins is showing why he shouldn't have gotten paid that much money, even though they are a good team. I know they don't match up again, and I know that the Falcons have taken him out twice, which is massive. But this Bucs team is pesky, and Baker Mayfield, of all people, can keep things going. And Ali, you do have Baker Mayfield. I say he's going to have a good game, but I'd start Kyler Murray over him every time.
Yeah. Speaking of Kyler and the Cardinals heading to Seattle for an NFC West matchup. Cardinals are a 1-point road favorite, over under 47.5, -110 for both team on the money line. I'm going to stick with this hot Cardinals team. They're one of the hotter teams in the NFL. They're sitting at 6-4, leading that NFC West. I really like what Kyler Murray's doing. James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr. I like a lot of those pieces over there. Their defense is just finding ways to hang in games and get the job done. I'm going to take the Cardinals here again to stay hot and get another win and move to 7-4. Ace, I think we were the only two that predicted the Cardinals would be good this year.
Yeah, and that's because I was wearing my Kyler Murray jersey week 1. I knew that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was dropping this year, and Kyler Murray was going to lock in and get all of the camos for his guns there, and he was going to get all of the skins for himself. on the football field too. He has Marvin Harrison Jr. and Michael Wilson split out wide. Then he has Trey McBride, one of the top tight ends in the NFL. With James Conner, Trey Benson, and a plethora of running backs, they got DeMarcado too. Everybody is good on that offense. The defense is playing well. Budda Baker playing Defensive Player of the Year conversation, even though he won't win it, obviously. But remember, they wanted to trade him. He's right there in the mix. I like Kyler Murray and Co to get it done too. I'm not sold on Geno Smith. I'm writing him off, even though it's a WVU product. Shout out to the Mountaineers. Big win yesterday. But that team is tough to play against. It's going to be high scoring, though. Kenneth Walker likes to find the end zone. JSN and DK are very strong options on the outside. The defense on paper is better for the Seahawks, but I'm going to go with the defense for the Cardinals here, who's playing hotter. I've got the Cardinals put up a lot of points. I think Connor probably finds the end zone, or Benson, not too sure there. I think one of them definitely does. Kyler's going to run well, but he's going to throw the ball very well, too. I like McBride and Marv to find the end zone and have strong days, especially coming off the bye. That's my biggest take here is the Arizona Cardinals are coming off the bye. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's game script is ready to go. Fire up all of your Cardinals that if you have them in offense, Kyler, K1, Marvin Harrison Jr., McBride, definitely fire them up. They're going to be a strong team today. They're going to put up 28 plus, and they're going to win this one, and they're going to stay atop that NFC West. It's Kyler's time. He's the former first-round pick that's ready to go. Give me K1 and the Cards here. Love that they're even money. Hoss, let us know if you think anything different this week.
Definitely don't think anything different. Definitely want to shout out the chat too, Carter. Thank you so much for the gift there. We absolutely love to see that. We'll get to your fantasy questions in just a moment, but I actually really like the Cardinals too. You know how high I am on them, Alex. I mean, the mobility of Kyler Murray and that offense has just been looking great as of late. So
They're fun to watch.
Give me the Cards here. You know what's funny is like this is what the people have been waiting for in Arizona when they drafted Kyler Murray. Like you want to see the dynamic offense. You want to see him running around, scrambling, making things happen with his feet. James Conner came in absolutely lightened things up too. It's really nice to see him get back to life. How does that feel for you, Hoff, honestly, seeing James Conner like pop off like this when your running backs have problems getting things
He's
done?
Definitely still a fan.
Yeah, I never was like too big on him when he was a Steeler. So when he left, I wasn't like that big, but I feel like Steeler running backs do that often. I mean, it just was Le'Veon Bell that fell off the fucking rails when he went to the Jets, but I like seeing him do good. I like Kyler. I like this Cardinals team. I'm not big on the head coach, Jonathan Gannon. Is that his name?
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, not big on him with the pews. I'll never forget that. Anytime I hear his name, I think of that video of him going explosions, pew, pew, and I just can't get it out of my head. Give me the Cardinals to win here. I think they get the job done. Let's wrap up Sunday Night Football. We'll go back to the chat, and then we'll get to our parlay and all that.
Chat is snapping.
Sunday Night Football, Eagles at Rams. Rams 3-point home dog over under 49. Rams money line plus 130. Eagles minus 155. I've gone back and forth on this game a lot. I do think the Eagles get the win, but the play that I've been going with, obviously, it kind of scares me because I don't know who Quinion Mitchell is going to be lined up against. I'm gonna go with probably. I've been taking the Puka over receptions. I'm trying to see what he set at 6.5, and Cup are both set at 6.5. I'll take Puka over 6.5 as my pick for this game.
Huff, I saw this last week. Quinion Mitchell is like Christian Gonzalez. Obviously, his stats might even be better this year. He's that lockdown rookie of the year corner, Pro Bowl first team potential, and he shut down Terry McLaurin last week. But we saw Christian Gonzalez match up with these Rams. And you know what's tough is you keep switching between Puka and Cup because they legitimately have two wide receivers ones. We say that a lot. We say Godwin and Evans are wide receiver ones, T and Jamar. But no, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are wide receiver ones that you have to respect both of. And I think that he switches his coverage back and forth. Cooper DeJean will be matched up with the other wide receiver on the other side. So it's going to be tough to see what it looks like there. I think they both get their own as they switch coverage around. You can't fully shut them down. I do think the Eagles end up winning this game. Saquon Barkley going to have a very, very, very strong game on the ground. If you have him in fantasy, fire him up. That Rams defense is Swiss cheese. They like to get lit up. They should have lost last week to the Patriots, but held on. I think the Rams do put up some points, even though it's a tough secondary to go against. They have enough firepower on offense to get it done against the Eagles. But the Eagles look like the class of the NFC right now. I think behind the Niners, not the Niners, behind the Lions, they're that top team out there. I think they can continue their strong play. Saquon Barkley going to be running wild, finding the end zone. Look for a tush push or two. Look for A.J. Brown to be strong. No Devontae Smith, so look for an even bigger target share for A.J. Brown. Dallas Goedert will be involved too. Not too high on Jahan Dotson. But Saquon Barkley, massive day incoming. Massive.
I was just gonna say I like two plays for a first touchdown here, so you could do a team. I like Kyron for the Rams. I like Jalen for the Eagles.
Yeah, and so scared about betting touchdowns for the Eagles though because the way that they do that tush push, it hurts versus Barkley. Might as well take them both. Told this to longtime listener Beek Patel. If you're gonna take one of them, just take both, and at least one will hit, maybe both. Hoss, any
Absolutely.
thoughts on this Eagles-Rams Sunday Night Football game before we get to the chat and answer all these questions?
Honestly, it's tough because I definitely don't want to hold up the chat, but I mean, I'm not going to say anything different than you guys have already said. I feel like this game, we know exactly what we expect out of these two teams. If the Rams win, it's going to be because they couldn't cover Puka Nacua and Cooper Cup at the same time. Both, like you said, 1A, 1B in that Rams offense. But I really lean towards the Eagles. We talked about it on the podcast, guys. So if you aren't listening to the cast already, make sure you do drop the follow on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you're getting your music, we're dropping it there. But I really like the Eagles. I've been trying to root for them for so long, but they keep letting me down when it gets to be crunch time. But this is going to be a game that they should really have circled on their calendar as well. I mean, a very strong team coming out of the NFC West, former Super Bowl winning team. Obviously, this defense is going to have a problem, I think, trying to cover all of what the Rams have to offer with Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Cooper Cup. But like I said, I'm leaning Eagles here. Give me Saquon Barkley. Like you said, Alex, give me A.J. Brown. Fire up all those big names in that Philly offense, and I'd actually like to take the Eagles here as well. Like I said, that's just more out of my heart.
Should be a good Sunday Night Football game. Could be a potential first-round matchup as well if the Rams can get their shit together and keep it together before the playoffs. But we got a lot of stuff in the chat here. Shout out Kyle Singer tuning in. Pick 1, 2, or love. We're going to go love here. We expect more points if it's not snowing. Shout out Brian Golf Library. He's telling us there's not snow on the ground there, so we're going to fire up love. Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray going K1, even though Justin Herbert should be in a shootout with the Ravens because their defense can't stop anything. Huff, sit one here. Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, Debo, or Malik Neighbors? I'm leaning Malik Neighbors because of his quarterback situation.
Yeah, I'd probably sit Malik Neighbors or Debo there.
Just to see what DeVito looks like at first and see how
I'd sit one of the guys with a backup quarterback playing.
Yeah, that's a good point. But Debo, I feel like he's going to get schemed the ball, and he has that squeaky wheel treatment. We're going to go Puka over Tracy every day of the week. I know he has a tough matchup with that secondary, but Lad McConkey or Kyron here. I'm going to fire up Lad. You just got to hope he's healthy. Have a backup option. If you have Quentin Johnston available, go pick him up. Someone asked Barkley or Hurts anytime TD. Got to take both to make sure they both get in, but we do have Barkley in our card. Stroud or Baker, week 12. I like Stroud here. Big bounce back week, even though Baker is very strong. Up top here, we got some questions here. Touchdown anytime parlay. We got Bowers, Laporta, and McBride. I like all those minus Laporta. That guy can't stay on the field. He's always hurt. And they like
Is he playing this week?
Yeah, but they like to go to everybody else for a touchdown besides him. Not too sold on him this week. How are you feeling about DK, Downs, Monty, and Gesicki this week? Gesicki, I'm not too sold on with T. Higgins back in the mix. Same with Downs. I like Monty and DK a lot more.
I like Downs.
Hoss does like Downs. He's going against a tough secondary, though.
Yeah, I know. He's
got the best secondary all week.
Yeah, but Anthony Richardson loves to air it out, and I think he likes Downs a little bit more than Pittman generally. But like you said, I mean, it's definitely a tough matchup for him. But Downs could even go 2 for 56 and a touchdown.
Shout out Nick Giroux. Sorry for missing a question. Chiefs or Panthers? You're gonna answer this one. Yeah, we're gonna answer. It's the Kansas City Chiefs, buddy. That's. I don't know why we're asking that question.
He's not asking who's gonna win, who's gonna cover. You never want to take the Chiefs with these double-digit spreads. How many times can I tell you?
Huff, are we backing Bryce Young against one of the best defenses in the NFL? How many points can they realistically score?
It opened at 11.5, and it's at 10.5. So Vegas likes the Panthers.
I think we tease the Chiefs then. How about that?
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs on a teaser opportunity here. I do think there's no chance they lose to Bryce Young. There's no way Patrick Mahomes is losing to Bryce Young coming off of a loss, too. Give me the Chiefs here this week to have a big number.
Do you imagine?
I think they blow them out. I really do.
That would give us Bryce Young ammo for like a full season and a half.
Yeah, Mackey will be shaking his boots. But I think we got to fire up the Chiefs here with that big number. Tease them down if you're nervous. But you got to go with them. We got to take them here. We got to think they have their first vintage Chiefs blowout win and start their new streak going into the playoffs. A lot more questions coming in. Love to see it, boys. Brian Robinson or Stevenson. I'm going Stevenson. I think he has better potential. I just don't like Eckler being in that backfield too. He's a vulture. Chuba Hubbard or Christian Watson at the flex. We're going Hubbard. Even though we like the Chiefs this week, Hubbard sees a big workload. Green Bay spread. Also no Purdy for Niners. I'm against them on the Niners money line. I know there's no Purdy, but they have Kyle Shanahan, a lot of weapons. Lines drop 100 today, according to Chewy. Huff would love that. Who got with Green Bay? A lot of people do. Anytime TD locks, Javon, thanks for tuning in. Everybody that's tuned in, make sure you're following us on our Instagram. We drop all of our plays there, but we've got an anytime touchdown parlay cooked up. Let's just answer some more questions. We'll drop that for you. Kittle or Swift for flex? Let's go with Kittle. Kyler or Bo Nix? We're going to go Kyler every day. Bo Nix, though, keep him on your bench. He's got some favorable matchups the rest of the way.
Today could be one
winner. He could be a league winner. Bosa and Purdy out. San Francisco upset today. Yeah, I still think the upset today with those two out. I do. I like the money line as well. They always beat the Green Bay Packers. Let's follow history. Justin Jefferson, yards and TD. Antonio Evans, I like both of them. I think he gets it both this week. Broncos -6.5 is a good play there. Ty Murray. They have an easy matchup on paper. I think Gardner Minshew throws an interception. Throw that to your prize picks parlay, and the Broncos will continue their way to the playoffs. Crazy to say, but true. Mike Evans or Swift? Are going Mike Evans, Kittle, or TJ Hawk? Because Purdy out. We're going Kittle still. TJ Hawkinson, if you can play both, get him into your flex. Let's go with that tight end flex. Love me a good two-strong tight end play. Middleman shook his head on Kyler over Bo. That's Hoss. Hoss, what are you thinking on Kyler over Bo?
Like, why are you even asking that question? I mean, I actually like Bo Nix a lot. He's played really good football, but like Kyler Murray, he's been playing unbelievably.
I'm just afraid of these blowouts against teams like the Chiefs and the Raiders. We don't have to do too much as a quarterback or skilled player. I like Javonte Williams more than Jameson Williams for that case. I think they're going to run the ball heavy. Quentin Johnson, Worthy, or DeAndre Hopkins. Let's go Quentin Johnson. He's found the end zone a lot lately. Josh Jacobs, I would never sit for Stevenson, even though Stevenson has a good matchup. Couple other questions here. Hubbard or Watson the flops. We're going Hubbard. Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce. We're firing up Taylor Swift. We're going to see her in the press box cheering. She's got way more bangers than Travis Kelce does.
You think she's going to be in Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, probably not though. Actually, you think about it, probably not.
Did you see they put in the throwback end zones? That's pretty cool.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Love to see that. But yeah, we got to fire up Taylor Swift. She's platinum plenty of times. Jaden Daniels over 225 yards. Yeah, I like that play there, Brian. Hurts or Knicks. We're gonna go Hurts. TJ Hawk or Keenan Allen. Let's go TJ Hawkinson. We got to fire him up at some point. I'm just not firing him up over Kittle. Marvin Harrison Jr. or Ridley? That's a tough question. I like both. I'm a big Ridley guy. I think he has a strong game in his divisional matchup this week, but I'm going Marvin Harrison Jr. Chris is asking about Packers times Chiefs two-leg parlay. I'm not on the Packers, so I'm against it. I'd say find someone else. Maybe go Broncos and Chiefs. Let's go a little AFC West parlay today. I like that one a lot more. Kelsey or McBride? Let's go McBride. Kittle or Laporta? Let's go Kittle. Can I get a solid 5 par? We'll get you our parlays.
We're going to give you that right now.
Hoff, get into it. Let's get into it.
We got to think. Also, definitely shout out Brian too with the gifted there. We absolutely love to see him, man.
Brian's the man. Yeah, he's got some great takes today. Love that. He's keeping up with the chat. Manny Rodriguez, good morning. Let's go Kareem Hunt over Tyler Tracy. Lions -7. That's a tough order. Yeah, a lot of good people. Lowell Jack Smith, Josh Jacobs. Yeah, I told you that. Broncos for sure. Yeah, Brian, what do we think about that Broncos times Chiefs money line parlay? I think that's a great money line parlay for those of you that are looking for a safe one this week. Vikings, Bears. Thanks. Appreciate it, Brian. Yeah, Huff, let's get into our anytime touchdown parlay. The people are asking for our parlay. Let's go with it.
Yeah, we're going with a half unit on this. It's a 5-leg touchdown parlay. Some running backs and a quarterback thrown in there. We're going with David Montgomery for the Lions, Anthony Richardson for the Colts, Kareem Hunt for the Chiefs, Josh Jacobs for the Packers, and ending it off on Sunday Night Football with Saquon Barkley to score for the Eagles. Half unit at plus 2,062 odds. That would pay, obviously, 20 to 1, 10 to 1 on a half unit. So
Anthony Richardson definitely helps that one out.
$50 could pay 1,000 on that. That'd obviously be nice. But
shout out our producer Jesse for giving us that plus 175 juice with the Anthony Richardson tutty. I will tell you this though, no plug here because we don't have any affiliation. But if you use Prize Picks, go with the flex play. We can miss one of those and you still hit. I did it on the most recent anytime touchdown parlays we've been putting out here. We've been going at least 75%, 80% on them. Those are good plays. Take them all straight like we do as well. But let's get back to the chat here. Zigzag Zeke. That's a great name there, buddy. You said put a 3-leg Monty, St. Brown, and Mixon TD for 100 to win 425. I actually love that play. You guys like that one as well? David Montgomery, Joe Mixon, Mr. Automatics right there. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hoss, you're big on him this week. 100 to win 425 plus 425. That's a great play. Jose is saying it's a wide receiver day. Oh, I like that. Jose, let me hear your wide receivers. Give me 3 wide receivers you think are finding the end zone today. Off the top of my head, I'll give you 3 real quick. I'm going with Justin Jefferson. I am going with Calvin Ridley. Yeah, that's a long shot. We're going to go Calvin Ridley. And I'll give you Amon-Ra St. Brown because Hoss likes it too. AR locked to score for y'all. According to our producer, Jesse, he's got Anthony Richardson. He's dove deep into the advanced analytics. He thinks there's a lot of points in the Detroit Lions game today, and he's got Anthony Richardson to run one in. Yes, he does. Great odds there. What is it again? Antonio Evans. We'll go real slow for you. Kareem Hunt, his last spot as RB1 for the Chiefs here this week against the Carolina Panthers. Love that. Josh Jacobs to get in the end zone against the 49ers by Hoss. Hoff is taking David Montgomery to get in once again, as he does every week. Jesse's taking Anthony Richardson to run one in against the Lions. And then to end it off, we have Saquon Barkley getting the end zone. That's Mackey's pick. Josh Jacobs, let's go. Love that. Love that.
You should see it on the screen, too, on the live. Yeah, you should see it on the live now. That's going to be our official touchdown parlay. Go ahead and tail that. It's going to cash. We've actually been pretty good.
Go
at this
follow us on our
lately.
Instagram. Hit the Bucks_pod. That's our long shot anytime touchdown parlay. But each of us give out our individual cards. We tell you every slate what we're taking individually, our favorite locks of the week. We also give out plays across other leagues: NHL, NBA, NCAAF, NCAA basketball. We're always posting. Go follow there. Hit the Bucks Pod, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, wherever you find us. We'll give you plays anywhere. Go follow, turn on notifications. You won't miss a thing. We post all of our results too. Some great content as well. Some great posts lately. Go check it out and let us know what you think. Griffin Donahue, good morning, buddy. How's it going? You got Gibbs, Kelsey, Stevenson, Addison, Sutton. That's the play. I like it. I like all those. Addison's the only sketchy one to me. I like Cortland Sutton, though. I think Huff and Haas are both big Cortland Sutton guys. As much as they like Drake London, they really like them some Cortland Sutton, too. Running back parlay, Jacobs, Monty, Mixon. Love that one there. Chance Galucci. Neighbors, not sold on this week there. Hold my beer with the little slang ahead of it. I don't know if I can drop that on TikTok. Love that name, though. He's just a chill guy that likes to drink beers. Just a chill guy drinking his beers. But, yeah, we are not sold on Malik Neighbors this week, especially with Tommy Cutlets at the helm. I know Malik Neighbors is a big PPR play, and he loves getting a lot of targets, but we're going to keep on our bench just this 1 week just to see what he can do with DeVito. Not sold on that guy. I think they're tanking by putting him in. Appreciate you boys. Love the follow. Thank you, Lil Jack Smith. You're the boy. Wonder if you're from Lil Mass. If so, not too far away. Tail, these guys are B Square to Beak Patel. Way to be. Shout it out. Sad we can't see Huff's beautiful face right now, says Chris. Huff, show him that beautiful smile for the people. The chat wants to see Tyler Huffnagel in the chat.
What does he mean he can't see him?
Oh, jeez. Huff. Get him back on the screen for the people. The parlay isn't as important. Maybe it is, though. Dobbins or Marvin Harrison Jr., what's your opinion? I think Dobbins gets a lot of workload here. It's a tough run defense with the Ravens.
He's hard to sit.
Into a little bit. He's hard to sit, but Marvin Harrison Jr., coming off the bye week, he's hitting that over receptors prop, over your receiving yards prop, and he's scoring a touchdown. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. in the divisional matchup. Buck spread, yes, I like that. Hubbard, White, Dobbins. I have Hubbard in now. Yeah, let's keep Hubbard in, even though I really like Rashad White. He likes to find the end zone early and often. That middleman really likes some Drake London. He's a huge Drake London guy. Don't you worry, Griffin Donahue. You all think AR is a lock? Yeah, we told you we like that one this week. Should I put in Travis Kelce and Otten or replace Otten with Josh Downs? No, let's go Kelce and Otten. I'm firing up those two in my league as well. I think Otten's going to continue a big target share down there in Tampa Bay. Stroud or Richardson, we're going Stroud this week. Abdullah or Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving, much bigger target share, much bigger workload, a lot more carries. Can't drop that on TikTok. Well, yeah, I mean, we might as well. If someone will. They'll come and get me. Great problem to have. Lad, wide receiver's been eating against my Ravens. Yeah, Lad, hopefully he's healthy. We can fire him up. O'Dunes, Myers, and Dell. Let's go O'Dunes and Dell. Any final questions here? Let us know. If not, go follow us in the chat go follow us on Instagram because we've got all of our plays posted there. We're going to have a lot more for you to look through at your convenience. You can DM us. Feel free with any other questions. Bucks beating the Giants, definitely. Vikings, Bears spread. I like the Vikings here, but we're kind of split decision there. Not our favorite plays. But Hoss, anything else we got for the people here?
I think that's it. Like you said, hit the Bucks.pod on Instagram. Get all the plays out by 11 a.m. shortly after on Twitter as well. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Turn on those post notifications. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow. We appreciate all the comments in the live stream, all the donos that we got.
Catch us next week.
Definitely helps us out. Yeah, next week, same thing for week 13. It's crazy to think we're already at week 12 in the NFL, but yeah, make sure you're staying tuned for our week 13 analysis on Thursday. Catch our Monday Night Football preview for tomorrow night. But other than that, we'll see you guys Thursday, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next week.
As always, too, send us your fantasy questions. Even if we're not live, send us your questions. Send us a DM. We can try and get to you as soon as we can. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's go. Cash that ticket.
Are we clear?